This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball on the banks of the Mississippi in beautiful downtown St. Louis. It's game number 3. The Milwaukee Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals. Welcome to the broadcast booth here at Busch Stadium. That's Brad Thompson. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. Paul Goldschmidt is one of the hottest hitters on the planet right now. Teams are trying to figure out how to get him out. He's getting on base, he's getting hits, and he's producing.
Yeah, put up 4 fingers. That's the way that you're just going to limit the damage when it comes to Paul Goldschmidt. You're right, Dan. He is crushing everything all over the yard. Look at these numbers. Right now, second in average in extra base hits, third in RBI, second in OPS. This month he has been in fuego.
Stats with lows. It's a historic month when you talk about Paul Goldschmidt in exclusive company here in the month of May. Stan the Man, 22 extra base hits in the month. Goldie is just 2 back of Stan, and there's still games to go here in the month of May. Goldie is stoic, not so much for this guy. Fun to watch. The center fielder of the Cardinals, Harrison Bader. Closer look at Tots when we come back. Number 3, Cardinals and Brewers have split the first 2. On the mound for St. Louis in his Major League home debut. It's the lefty, Matthew Liberatore.
I'm excited for Matthew Liberatore to get another crack at this. First game against the Pirates, 7 hits in 4 2/3. We saw some flashes of some really good things, but maybe a little more consistency in game 2 for Matthew Liberatore.
4 2/3 in his first start against the Pirates. In his second start in the big leagues coming up. Central race, it is heating up. The Cardinals, the Brewers, they're coming up. Midwest, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Brewers and Cardinals from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The Brewers lead the National League Central Division with a record of 29-17. And the Cardinals are 25-20 after the win last night and 3.5 games back. It is a big, big crowd on this Memorial Day weekend. And with Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And a beautiful day for baseball and the home debut for the left-hander that we've heard so much about, Matthew Liberatore.
Well, excited to watch Matthew Liberatore get another opportunity here in the rotation. Made his major league debut on the 21st in Pittsburgh, but this is a different feeling. I just enjoy watching him a second ago. They let him take the lead, the charge out to the field. It's a good feeling standing on that mound. I expect a good day for Matthew.
His previous start, the big league level, was against Pittsburgh last weekend. And he went 4 2/3. We know about the outstanding 12-6 breaking ball. What else does he feature?
Well, the 4-seam and the sinker, and he spots it up well. He can elevate it at times. I think he's going to want to concentrate on trying to stay down a little bit more. The slider can keep the right-handers honest as well, but he's got a starter's arsenal for sure. It's about piecing it together at the big league level.
Craig Console and the Milwaukee Brewers, their lineup. Andrew McCutchen at the top. He's also the designated hitter. Luis Urias, who is homered in this series. Christian Yelich, Tyrone Taylor, Mike Brasso, Keston Hira, Lorenzo Cain. It's Mark Mathias. He's at second base today, and the switch hitting former Cub Victor Caratini. The Cardinals have had rookie starters 22 years of age or younger to start against Milwaukee in the last 20 years. It's been Shelby Miller. He did that. Bud Smith did it. And Rick Ankiel. So you include Liberatore in that group. 3 of the 4 have been lefties against Milwaukee.
Well, it's been a long time since you've had a lefty in the rotation for the long term. And that's the hope with Matthew Liberatore, is that he's going to get that opportunity.
And the first pitch to McCutchen, swung on, popped up right side and That'll drop foul. McCutchen twice came up last night with the bases loaded and could not come through. I was talking with Ali Marmol before the game in his office about the matchup with Verhagen, and we both had suspected maybe it was because of the curveball that he possesses, and they liked it. The right-on-right matchup with the curveball that can be very good. The numbers with Verhagen analytically, at times the spin rate like Adam Wainwright, and that's why they did it. And a move that paid off. And a ground ball that's foul.
We have seen over the years how good of a hitter McCutchen is, and very rarely do you see a swing like Verhagen was able to induce against him. So it did work out well. We were just so used to seeing Drew Verhagen in there for the longer stints, but you got to figure out different ways to utilize that bullpen and utilize the strengths of players, and we saw that yesterday.
And by doing that, you saved Ryan Helsley for the back end. So do you want to use him there for that out, potentially another inning, or at the back end of the game? And that's what Ali was facing at that time. But it's got to be more than just Gallegos and Cabrera and obviously Palante when he's available. There's got to be others that step up in those key spots, and they got it last night. The 2-2 is tapped foul.
You can already tell in this ball game it looks like Matthew Liberatore has a better feel for everything. I love that sequence right there, elevated with the fastball to change the eye level of McCutchen, then drop that big breaking ball down at the bottom of the zone.
And the 2-2 pitch, shift on the left side, swing and a miss, and a strikeout to start the game for Matthew Liberatore. Cardinals defense featuring Brendan Donovan at first base today. In the outfield, Dickerson, Bader, and Nootbaar. As we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Arenado, Edman, and Gorman on the infield with Donovan and Molina behind the plate. Luis Urias, 4 home runs. He's driven in 8. And the first pitch is strike. It is a key with any pitcher. Get ahead in the count, but especially with Matthew Liberatore. When he's ahead in the count, the opponent's hitting 170 this year against him at Memphis. And that was also the key on Saturday. When he fell behind, that's when he got into trouble. Toyota key to the game.
You just nailed the key to the game, Dan. That was it. That was perfect.
There you go.
This is it. You've unlocked it, and it looks like Matthew has early.
I didn't know that was your key to the game. We're on the same page.
It's everyone's key to the game.
It really is. Get ahead, throw strikes.
It's not reinventing the wheel, but boy, the numbers sure do bear it out. When you're ahead, when you're commanding counts, when hitters can't just sit there and think dead red fastball, you find yourself in a good place.
And the 1-2 pitch held on to by Molina. Back-to-back Ks for Matthew Liberatore. It was interesting what Ali had to say about Matthew in his office. He said that in telling us the game on Saturday at Pittsburgh sped up on him just a bit, but he said, hey, his stuff plays. Attack the zone. He said, quote, be aggressive but under control. And that's what they're anticipating here today. Here's Christian Yelich and a pitch taken low and outside.
I really liked on that last one to Urias, the strikeout. That's 95. Looked like an easy 95 and spotted it inside. So important to be able to command in.
And the 1-0 pitch. Just a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch hit the other way and a base hit. And Yelich thinking to, but he'll stop at first base as Dickerson was racing in and holds him to a single. Remember, it was Christian Yelich. Cardinals couldn't get him out, and he was hitting for power. 8 home runs, but they have figured him out to an extent.
That OPS doesn't even seem real. I mean, that was something, and there has been a change in Christian Yelich for sure. I know he's battled some injuries. We are seeing this season some of the hard hit data has been a lot better, more favorable for Christian Yelich, but certainly not the player that he was a couple of years ago.
Here's Tyrone Taylor. Cardinals shift on the left side. Liberatore was the minor league pitcher of the year last season for the Cardinals. Minor league pitcher of the month in June and August last year at Memphis, as he made the jump from single A to triple A, skipped double A.
That's a heck of a jump, and especially so young. To pitch a full season at triple A at 21 years old, that is something. And you're going to take your lumps in a league like that, and the overall numbers for him were very good for the jump that he made.
Especially in the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Started to figure things out. First half got beat up a little bit, and then figured it out. Led the club in strikeouts and innings pitched, all minor leaguers of the St. Louis Cardinals. And it's a 1-2 count now on Tyrone Taylor. His issue in the minor leagues last year was right-handed batters. They would get him for power, so he's worked on a changeup to try to offset the right-handed batters.
It's important. It's important to have something, and it's also important to be able to locate down in the zone.
And the 1-2 missed in. He was hitting on average right around 92, 93 consistently, but can get it up to 95, 96 with a fastball. And a quick move over to check on Yelich.
And maybe we see that changeup you were just talking about here. Set up Taylor with that hard fastball in off the plate. That pitch is good now, as is the big curveball.
And Taylor is hit safely in 7 of the last 8 with 4 multi-hit games. Been dealing with injuries. He stepped up. And a 7-game RBI streak snapped last night, but he's 11 for his past 30 with 3 home runs, and he's driven in 12.
It's important when guys get injured that others step up. We've seen that throughout the season this year with the Cardinals. Certainly Juan Yepez, really hot, especially early. Donovan, both in the lineup, or Donovan in the lineup today.
Yelich not running is, I think he may have forgot, or he was extremely hesitant because of the move of Matthew Liberatore, but a terrible jump on a 3-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the first. And the 3-2 out to center, right at Bader. Milwaukee strands a runner. Liberatore scoreless first inning in his Busch Stadium debut. One of the hottest hitters in all of baseball is coming up. The DH Paul Goldschmidt, half inning in the books, no score. And then moving Nolan Gorman ahead of Goldie and Arenado. Then you have Donovan, Nootbaar, Molina, Dickerson, and Bader. A lot of lefties in the St. Louis lineup today. And they'll face Adrian Hauser, who was last September, in which essentially all he did was throw sinkers and was incredibly efficient. Went the distance against the Cardinals in that game, but they've gotten to him as well.
They have the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Hauser. That sinker that you mentioned, he throws it a lot. It is good. Gets a lot of his punch outs with his fastball outside of the zone. You'll see the slider, the change, and the curve, but be ready to hit a fastball.
And a strike to Edman. Hauser, his last 5 starts against St. Louis, a .59 ERA. And the Cardinals hitting just .202 against him. And his only loss to the Cardinals in the last couple of years was earlier this season, and he lost 2-1 in that game. He pitched well.
There's only been one starter that's been better against the Cardinals, and it's Max Scherzer.
Yeah.
I mean, in their career.
And the 0-2 on the ground. Matthias, low throw and pick by Keston Hiura to get the speedy Edman. Lorenzo Cain in center. Yelich in left, Taylor in right. And around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Brasso, Urias, Matthias, and here on the infield, Caratini behind the plate. Well, if you move Nolan Gorman up to the second spot, you're trying to get him going.
You've got a supernova hitting behind you. I mean, the hottest player on earth in Paul Goldschmidt. So you know he's going to get some fastballs. Hauser's going to attack right now. And after a really hot start in Pittsburgh, where he ended up hitting .500 that Sunday, had 3 hits, 3 for 5 with a double. 0 for his last 11, 7 punch-outs.
And the breaking ball drops in, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Takes a while, too. It takes a while to get adjusted to the league, how pitchers are attacking you.
It was really cool last weekend, Brad, in Pittsburgh, but the families of both Matthew Liberatore and Nolan Gorman, I mean, probably 20, 30 deep for both families to be there. Both their dads coached them from 5 years old on, and here they are in the big leagues, and both made their debut in the big leagues, the same spot.
I know what that feeling is like as a player, getting to make your debut, but I can only imagine as a parent and having the families together what that means. Talked about it a lot, but it's the ride that everybody's on, and everybody gets to kind of bask in it.
Shift on here, the 2-2, and Gorman hits one a ton into deep right. His first in the big leagues, and a long one out to right. It just sounded beautiful. He smoked it. His first in the major leagues. Nolan Gorman, 1-0 St. Louis. Holy smokes. Wow. Woo.
That right there was a thing of beauty. Nolan Gorman got himself a fastball up, and he deposited that.
The strike to Goldie. Goldie would have stepped out. You probably would have had a curtain call for Nolan Gorman.
You're probably right.
Wow.
You know that felt good.
Over the bullpen in right field. And Goldschmidt pops it up on the infield. Matthias. And now number 2. Man, oh man, was this ball crushed.
Look how quick that stroke is. That's a swing that you might get a chance to see over and over again here in St. Louis. 22 years old. Forced his way on this roster, just continued to slug in the minor leagues, had 15 in AAA Memphis this year, and his first one here in the big leagues. Congrats.
Renato pulls a breaking ball foul. That landed beyond the seats that are just above the bullpen in right field. You don't see many go that far. Measured at 449 feet, 110 miles per hour off the bat. It has to be one of the longest home runs in St. Louis this year. Hit to third, and Brasso is there. Nolan Gorman, his first ever big league home run. No doubt about it. 1-0 St. Louis. And we check in with Jim Hayes.
What do you got, Jim?
Matthew Liberatore is just 22 years old, but everyone you talk to says he's mature beyond his years. In the clubhouse today, there's Liberatore in front of his locker, just chatting with the media. Most starting pitchers don't talk on the day of a start. They won't even make eye contact. Liberatore told me he likes to treat every start like any other day. He told me if you have to sit there all day waiting to flip the switch, sometimes it's hard to turn it on. I'd rather not waste energy trying to do that, Dan. Liberatore, really thoughtful and mature in his approach, just 22.
It's rare, as Brasso is at the plate, 2 balls and no strikes, to your point, that a starter is ever talking. So I walked into the clubhouse. I saw Matthew still in street clothes while the players were going in and out, workouts, BP, and he was surrounded by a bunch of reporters. And I went to one of the media relations folks with the Cardinals, Chris Tuno, and I said, is Liberatore hurt? Did he get sent down? What's going on? I couldn't believe it. The only guy I could remember being like that was Jeff Suppan would talk on the day that he started. Chris Carpenter did not.
No, you didn't even look in his direction.
No, you got out of his way.
But that's the thing. You can't try to be somebody else. You can't think, okay, well, I'm the starter, I have to do that. That's exactly what Matthew was talking about with Jim Hayes. Good breaking ball. He got a feel for that thing today.
Strikeout number 3 already for Matthew Liberatore.
We're seeing Matthew set up everything with his fastball. He's able to move that thing around, but that's a good look at it right there.
Now, he has always had that. He's known for that big breaking ball. And a fastball and a strike to Keston Hira. Homered late here last night in the 9th inning to cut the game to 4-2, and that would be the final. The 0-1. And a ground ball to Nolan Arenado. 2 away. MLB Ballpark app will complete your next visit to Busch Stadium. Buy and manage game tickets, unlock offers, access exclusive content, much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Lorenzo Cain hitting 183.
Talked about a key in this game is to get ahead. 4 of 6 first pitch strikes so far for Matthew Liberatore. And he's working quick.
So Ali telling us, and there was a lot of focus last night on Dakota Hudson and PitchCom and trying to have him speed up. He said it's not only Dakota. He said in a way it's been kind of like my #1 point of emphasis with all our guys. Let's go. We've got a very good defense. Let's keep them engaged. Let's move the game along.
Get it and throw it.
And the 2-0 pitch. I think you hit it on the head yesterday. It's not only going to be an adjustment for the pitcher, but maybe more so for the hitters when they do institute the clock.
You got a lot of guys that take forever getting in the box, and even when they're in there, they're waggling, getting all set up. A little urgency would be nice.
And it's 3-1. It's for the betterment of the game, the pace of the game, action within the game.
Well, and you don't have to have a clock to do it. You just have to have intent on moving quickly.
And a 3-1 pitch to Cain, and a 2-out walk. We have noticed, though, not only with the young Cardinals that have come up, but around the league, when guys get called up, they are used to the pitch clock, and you don't see them stepping out, where you see pitchers with a pace that is much better than some of the others that we have seen that have been around a long time.
Now, I wonder if that stays. That'll be interesting to see throughout the season. Guys that get called up, or do they look around and say, oh, I can take my time again? I hope it stays.
Quick move to check on Cain. He's got a couple of stolen bases this year. And another check on Cain. From what I've been told, and I haven't seen it much down in the minor leagues, but what I have seen has been good, and then I was told it's very good at times, the move of Matthew Liberatore.
You can tell right there he had Cain leaning and then totally off balance.
So 2 outs and the pitch taken for a strike. Was Yadi behind the plate in Liberatore's debut last weekend, and he gets him today. Not bad to have that guy behind the plate and using pitch comm and leading you through your second major league start. The fly ball into right. Lars Nootbaar. Donovan, Nootbaar, Molina coming up, and it's 1-0. 1-0 Cardinals. Brendan Donovan, the rookie, ranks in all of baseball. And he's third in average. The on-base percentage, that's what stands out. .444, and third in slugging.
Well, you just plop somebody down and make it be a baseball person, been around the game a long time, a scout. You have him watching that bat. They say, all right, how long has this guy been in the big leagues? I guarantee you nobody's saying it's his first year.
And he's playing all over the diamond, too. And today he's at first base. He has been at third. He's been at short. He's been in right field. He's played a little left. Second base. I think that's the other part of it. And you feel as a player some pressure, obviously, when you're called up to perform, to stick. You want to stay here, but then to do it at various positions where you got to think about what's happening, situational baseball, and then also do it at the plate. And he's been able to handle that with ease.
He has, and we see it during the game, but Dan, we get a chance to watch some of the work that happens beforehand. He's putting in this work all over the field hours early. That's what it takes.
And the 1-2 is hit sharply, and Keston Hiura, the backhand, and makes the play. Lars Nootbaar is in right field today. Just 2 for 22. Well, the Cardinals running into very good pitching this weekend with Milwaukee. Their starters second best in the National League. Collectively, their ERA just above 3, behind the Dodgers at 2.44. And in their last 14 games, the starters of Milwaukee, the ERA is just above 2. And you get that kind of starting pitching, you're going to win a lot of games. And the back end of their bullpen ain't too shabby.
It is something. It is something. Boxberger's been good. That's been their bridge. It's been Boxberger, Devin Williams, Josh Hader, who I don't think Hader's given up a run in 7 years. I'm not sure. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it feels like that.
Well, it's pretty close. It's a good changeup there. Adam Wade out in front, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, Hader right now is sitting on 37 consecutive scoreless appearances. Hasn't given up a run since June of last year.
Literally.
Maybe it was July. It was July of last year. Still.
Then you have Devin Williams. He's throwing frisbees up there. Boxberger's been very good. So
you know you have a good pitch when he gets a nickname, the Airbender.
Exactly.
His changeup.
The 2-2 taken low, and a full count on Lars Nootbaar. Molina on deck. Milwaukee with a shift. Hits it into the shift, reaching for it, charging Matthias, and out. The Cardinals will take a look. Nootbaar hustling down the line. Well, that was very close.
Yeah, you appreciate the hustle. You have to hustle on one like this. When you have these shifts and you got guys playing so deep in the outfield, you can never take anything for granted. Newt doesn't do that here. It looks like he gets him, but by a half a step.
And the batter will be Yadier Molina. Yadi with a couple of home runs. He's driven in 8 and hitting .234. .16 hits away from Yogi Berra for 5th all-time among primary catchers. Getting closer to Yogi. And a base hit inside the third base line. And a 2-out single for Yadier Molina.
Yachty gets himself a pitch down and in, drops the head, keeps it fair. See, Hauser has a lot of success down there. A lot of sinkers down and in, gets tons of ground balls, but Yachty's able to get the head to it.
Corey Dickerson is 3 for 9 with a couple of doubles against Adrian Hauser. Eighth spot in the Cardinals lineup. I know you're going to find this shocking, but there is Albert Pujols talking to Juan Yepez. It is shocking to see those two together. Hardly ever see that. It's a good catch by our director, Tom Mee.
Yeah. Very rarely.
You could put that on lockdown and see that for 4 innings and then 5 and 6. And all of a sudden you're in the 9th and they're still talking.
I'm already picturing, and I know this is not the case, but I'm picturing after the game they're going to their cars and he just jumps in the backseat of Albert's. Just come on. All right, Dad, where are we going? I just really enjoy watching that. There's so much to learn. We showed earlier Dakota Hudson, but by no means a rookie in this league, but a younger pitcher sitting next to Adam Wainwright. You know how much you can learn during a ball game?
Slowly hit, and Matthias will go to first for the out. Cardinals strand a runner, their first of the day. A Nolan Gorman home run, the difference so far. It's 1-0. Cam here at Busch Stadium on a beautiful day in downtown St. Louis. Temperatures perfect. And the Yachty tumbler has been handed out.
Already in use. It's smart.
Yep.
Keep your beverage cold.
Or the coffee warm. It's the Yachty tumbler.
I didn't know you did commercials for it.
Just seemed to work.
It did.
Did you get yours?
Oh, yeah, I got one back there.
There's Caratini hitting .207, a switch hitter. No home runs, and he has driven in 3. Liberatore has allowed 1 base hit, 1 walk. He has struck out 3. And his buddy Nolan Gorman has punished a baseball for his first ever major league homer.
That was a beautiful swing.
Fouled back. Well, Liberatore's pumping strikes, and he looks to be a little bit more relaxed in this start, and you can understand that.
Yeah, you get that major league debut, you get those jitters a little bit out of the way, get in the friendly confines of being home.
The fly ball to center fielder Harrison Bader backing up, and the first out. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less.
Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout.
Top of the lineup, McCutchen. For Milwaukee, that's only their 11th game this year against a team 500 or better. They're 5-5 in the previous 10. Cardinals have played 22 games against teams with winning records. They're 10-12. Only the Dodgers have played fewer games in Milwaukee against those teams that are under 500.
Well, even as the schedule gets tougher for Craig Counsell's team, I don't think there's any question. The pitching is going to stand up. The pitching will stand up to anybody. The question is offensively, what can the Brewers do? And remember, they have a couple of guys, Hunter Renfroe, Willie Adames, both on the IL currently. But that's going to be the big question.
Had to deal with the injury last night to Woodruff. They don't expect that to be serious. And McCutchen flies to Bader in center for out number 2. Luis Urias with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch strikes. We talked about that being a key, and he's 7 of 10 so far. You can take that. You do that, you're going to have some success.
Yes, you are. It was a 20-pitch first inning, 14 pitches last inning, sitting on 6 right now with 2 outs.
Sometimes, I don't know if you feel this way too, Brad, I have to remind myself, Matthew Liberatore is 22 years old. You know, he should be a senior in college. And for a lot of 22-year-olds, is that backswing catches Yachty. They're still in their sophomore year.
Is that the case for you?
It was not, but I did have buddies that were on about an 8-year plan.
Usually they're called doctors.
Not these guys. I can tell you that for sure. Assuming, as we've talked about your movie choices, you've seen Animal House.
I have seen Animal House.
It's more like those guys.
Okay. Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it. But it is something that you bring up a really good point with Matthew Liberatore due to the fact that, I mean, so much hype around him. One of the best prospects in baseball. Big trade. He's a headline piece. You want to see it right away.
And the base hit into left on a 1-2 pitch. Kind of had the hesitation there in the delivery.
He did. That's a difficult thing to do, and I know it ends up being a hit. He was trying to go upstairs, though. Arias just did a good job of getting on top of it. Really good fastball hitter. I really like the pitch before that of being able to go backdoor to get back into the count with the breaking ball. I mean, that just shows the feel that he has for what he's doing.
And that's what you have to do, as you know, at this level. You're behind in the count, your secondary pitches to be able to throw those for strikes and be effective. Yelich, a base hit to left against the shift. Milwaukee comes in a game under 500 against left-handed pitching this year. 7-8. And they like to stagger their lineup if they can, lefty righty. Yelich 8 for his last 31 with a double and an RBI, hitting .260 against the lefties this season. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner at first. Big crowd on this Saturday afternoon here in St. Louis, and the weather is ideal. Man, it is perfect.
This weekend is going to be fun downtown, isn't it?
It is. And the 1-1 breaking ball, a beauty.
Right on the corner. See Yelich. That first thought is the hips are starting to open up a little bit. He wants to see that on the inner half. Never gets there. I know you just mentioned the age of Matthew Liberatore. We've done the same thing with his good buddy Nolan Gorman, both 22 years old, but I see him throwing like this. I watch the majestic home run that he hits, and I'm thinking, man, we're watching the future right now.
No doubt.
Watching 2 guys that could be pivotal pieces of the Cardinals' success here for the next decade.
And the 1-2 pitch. I've been thinking about Chris Carpenter coming to St. Louis early 2000s, and he learned from Pat Henkin, David Wells, Roger Clemens in Toronto, and how it really changed the culture of the starters and some of the things that they do. It was passed on to Waino and Loesch and some of the others that we've had here. Jack Flaherty now, and the next wave is coming, and here's Matthew Liberatore. Curveball, tapped foul. The future is now. Gorman there on the left, the second baseman. Liberatore on the right. Can't imagine being their parents and seeing these 2 guys, same team in the big leagues. It's just the odds of that are probably in the millions. 1 in a million.
Yeah. You got a better chance of winning the lottery than that happening.
It's incredible. And then to have them make their debuts in the same series, and here in this game, a home run and Liberatore on the mound. It's amazing. The 2-2.
That's a good take right there by Christian Yelich. Home plate umpire Gabe Morales behind the plate. That one just under the zone, but one that I guarantee you Matthew will end up getting a lot of swing and miss on that pitch.
The 3-2 pitch. Foul back, and we'll do it again with 2 down. Liberatore has walked 1. That was Kane back in the 2nd inning. Big gap in right center. Urias running on the pitch. Swing and a miss. Tardy with that swing. And strikeout number 4 for Matthew Liberatore. Tots coming up. Prior to every home game, you can enjoy the game's prizes, free North Star frozen treats in the Ford Plaza, presented by Prairie Farms. Summer is here. Memorial Day weekend, and the pools start to open up. Temperatures will start to get a little bit warmer. Kids coming out to the ballpark and Cardinal baseball. And that's summer in St. Louis.
Oh yeah, the invite to your friends' houses who have pools, probably like Dan. Can't wait for those to start rolling in also.
That was done thanks to the great work of Ryan Kelly, and Jim and myself have decided to put in a pool with that refi.
Still can't figure out the whole dynamic there, but excited for the invite nonetheless.
Thank you very much. Well, see, it has to do with the commercials we've done with Ryan Kelly. I don't know if you've seen those.
I have seen them. Great acting.
Thank you. The 1-1 pitch. Bader hits it off the end of the bat. This ball may drop, and it will. It's a base hit for Bader. The Cardinals have their 3rd hit.
Well, Harrison Bader is on a bit of a roll right now. That's 9 games in a row with a hit for Harrison. It seems like every time you put Harrison on first base, well, he ends up on second base. Been stealing bags left and right. Your leader in the National League.
He's got 13 stolen bases, numbers 12 and 13 last night. That's the most in baseball, with Seattle's Julio Rodriguez. So the National League leaders in steals, Bader, and then Turner and Edman both with 10. Colton Wong 8. Yelich with 7. May just throw over again. Let's see. You take the spring out of the base runner.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's not always throwing over, but it's holding the ball a little bit longer as a pitcher. I have found over the years that's one of the most effective things. Get a runner just to stay still just for an extra little half a second. It's a lot that goes into holding base runners.
Why not do it one more time? It's kind of like how we talk about a pitcher disrupting the timing of a hitter. This disrupts any kind of rhythm that maybe a base stealer has. 1/1000, 2/1000, boom, I'm going. There's some tell that the pitcher has that they can read.
Well, pretty much every stolen base that we see, anything that's caught clean is bang bang, right? So if that bang bang can just be that one fraction of a second less of a jump that the runner gets, that's the difference.
Against Hauser, base stealers 4 for 4, and 70% when he's been on the mound in his career. Caratini is 5 for 11 throwing out base stealers this year. Tommy Edman grounded out to second his first time up. And the 0-1 pitch. You've mentioned it a lot, but you can also disrupt the pitcher to the plate. They rush, pitch gets up, and then all of a sudden hittable pitches.
It happens a lot. Dan, what do you think about the idea of limiting the amount of times a pitcher can pick off? 'Cause that's something that they've tinkered with in the minor leagues. I don't like that.
I don't think I like that one.
It's basically, I believe it's 2 times. And then on the 3rd time, if you don't get him, then he is awarded second base.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't either. I think that you should be able to hold the running game however you would like to. I mean, I get it. It's a countdown to action, but that's not right to me.
As you talked about, it's, you know, a fraction of a second or two, one way or another, to get a base stealer. I do like the idea of bigger bases. I think that maybe, you know, in the Cardinals case, if you're thinking Bader is on the cusp of a stolen base and a pitcher is a 1-3 or a 1-4 to the plate, but you get an extra couple of inches at the bag, that's a stolen base.
Yes,
so
yeah, you end up going for it.
It encourages it, so I think that could be good.
The thing that it doesn't bother me about the bigger bags, there's some of the stuff where I just don't like the optics of it. But the bigger bags, we will never notice watching the game, yet you'll notice it by more action being in it.
One and 2 the count. Bader, your runner at first base. All kinds of room on the left side of the infield. The exaggerated shift. And a base hit into left. Back-to-back hits for St. Louis, and in steps Nolan Gorman. The Allstate mayhem moment, his first ever big league homer, 449 feet. It snapped an 0 for 11 with that home run. And he now owns the longest home run at Busch Stadium this season.
It was one of those, you don't see as many of them this year. As soon as it was touched, you knew no one was getting close to this thing. And a big spot here.
And out to visit Caratini. And I'm sure a weight lifted off the shoulders of Nolan Gorman. Get that first one out of the way.
Oh, absolutely. We mentioned the hot start that he had in Pittsburgh. And you can't think of a better way to start out your career. First at bat, you get a hit. You end up going 500 there on the road. But you get back to St. Louis. You put a lot of pressure on yourself probably. You want to make that great impression. End up having that 0 for 11 run. 7 strikeouts during it. And just takes one sometimes. Takes that one swing to get comfortable. You can breathe a little bit.
Runners at first and second. And the 1-0 pitch to Nolan Gorman. And Gorman strokes it into center. Here comes Bader. 2-0 Cardinals. Nolan Gorman has brought in both runs today. 2-0 St. Louis.
Well, Adrian Hauser attacked him, trying to go right after him. It's another fastball, 93-mile-an-hour sinker that catches way too much of the plate. It's 108 miles an hour off the bat of Nolan Gorman. That good, sweet swing. Look how quick the hands are through that zone.
Well, he's got a quick bat. There's no doubting that. Goldie has hit in 18 straight. He's been on base in 32 consecutive games. And you go back to May 7th, and it's been an incredible month as we highlighted in the open. His slug is 880, 1,300 plus OPS. So in April, Nolan Arenado, hot start. Goldie's picked it up here in May.
You know there's going to be months, and maybe the numbers won't look exactly like that, okay? Where it's 375, 396, both slugging well over 1,000. But there's going to be months where both of these guys are hot, too. Good luck if you're the opposition. And the hope is at that point, too, you're healthy. Dylan Carlson's back. Tyler O'Neill's back and has found his stroke. This offense has a chance to be very, very dangerous. Already a top 10 offense, top 5 in several categories. There's more there.
The shift on here for Goldie. Look at that, 14 for 28. 500 average with runners in scoring position. We were talking to Ollie before the game about Goldie, and the impressive thing about a power hitter is that he will take what the pitcher gives him. He'll go to right field. At the 1-0. Caratini keeps it in front. I'm just not sure I would shift. And again, I understand what the analytics, the numbers say, but Goldie, you pitch him away, more times than not, he'll take the ball to right.
Yeah, that's my thing. If you're going to shift him that way, I'm going to throw him in. But the problem is with Goldie is you can't continue to throw him in, or he will absolutely get the head to it, and no shift is going to be able to stop a ball from getting out of Big Mac land.
And it's 2-1. The last three Cardinals with streaks of 30 or more consecutive games getting on base. It's Carpenter in 18, Holiday in 15. He got up to 45 games, and then Pujols did it in 11. And Goldschmidt hits a high fly ball into deep right center, and it's gone. It carries out of here. It just kept on going. An opposite field home run. 3-run homer for Goldie. And his 10th of the year. He is driven in 39.
The amazing month of May continues for Paul Goldschmidt. His 21st extra base hit of the month. It's a 93-mile-an-hour sinker down and away. Dan, you were just talking about. He spreads the ball all over the yard. This ball's away, and he drives it out of a big part of the ballpark. Unreal. I mean, this is next level Paul Goldschmidt right here.
The 5-0 St. Louis lead. It's his 15th home run against Milwaukee since joining the Cardinals.
How about that? Got the rare Goldie smile too. Did you see that? Even he's saying, man, it's special.
The 33 game on base streak is now a new career high. He has homered in 3 straight games, and he's hit safely in 19 straight. A ball and a strike on Nolan Arenado. Goldie 29 at bats with runners in scoring position. He's driven in 27.
We were showing a little bit earlier Juan Yepez, Albert Pujols next to each other. I'm going to slide up to Goldie a little bit too.
And Arenado in the air right center, and that'll be caught on the edge of the track. The first out here in the home half of the third. Goldie now with the 10 home runs. That's the team lead, and 39 runs batted in, and we're not through May. You're right, the rare smile from a guy that is all business in Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, he is still business when he's in the box. We know that.
Donovan base hit to left. It's 5 hits in the inning.
Talked a lot about Donovan knowing his strike zone, can cover everything. This ball, he's got to let it travel to be able to drive it that way. Good balanced swing. Try to start another rally here.
There's Lars Nootbaar, grounded out to second, first time up. Remember, Goldschmidt had 1 home run, 10 RBI in his first 20 games of the season. In his last 24 games, 9 home runs, and he's driven in 29. The 39 total, second most in the National League. The 10 home runs, tied for 6th most in the National League. Runner goes, and a throw down to second, and Donovan is out. You hear those numbers from Goldie, you're thinking he's building an MVP type resume.
Oh no, it screams MVP. Donovan not able to escape that one there. Oh, we're going to see a little MVP potentially matchup here as San Diego comes into town. Manny Machado having a monster year.
The Padres have played well. Remember how they faltered down the stretch last year, but they're 29-16, 2 games back of the Dodgers in the West.
And remember, that's all still without Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's right. And it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. So Goldie now 21 extra base hits in the month of May, trailing only Musial and Pujols. 22 is the all-time record. The 2-1, 2-2.
Any list where you're trailing Stan Musial and Albert Pujols, that's a list that you'd like to be on, and has a chance to surpass them with a couple of days left, couple of at-bats left in this one.
And the 3-2 now coming up to Lars Nootbaar. It's been tough for Lars to get traction so far. Maybe changes that with this pitch right here. 3-2. And he strikes out. The first strikeout for Adrian Hauser. Well, we're saying that he can spray the ball everywhere and even over the wall in right center. 5-0 St. Louis. Is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and brought to you by Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Tyrone Taylor leads it off for Milwaukee. Fly to center, first time up. 5-0 our score. And did I just see a Brad Thompson Cardinal jersey brought in to be signed?
Not too many of those things going around. They were actually sold out at the team store.
Yeah.
So, you know,
very popular.
Had to be custom made.
Who was looking for that?
Michael.
Was that for Michael?
Yeah, our booth assistant does so much great work up here. Michael Langston takes care of everything for us.
Great.
And I think that he's going to send me a bill for that jersey at some point.
So you paid him to ask to have your jersey signed.
Still kind of made me feel good. It's the little things.
That's exactly right. 2-1 the count. Brasso on deck, and then Keston Hira.
That was a big league pitch right there, by the way, by Matthew Liberatore. The changeup, we were talking about that pitch. Got to have something to keep right-handers off of things. Another one there. All of a sudden, 2 changeup. You're right back in the count against Taylor.
But that back-to-back changeups.
Yeah. Well, I like that too. I like a couple changeups in a way. Bust him in with a fastball now. Fastball inside. You're going to get him to swing through it.
It's an all left-handed bench for the Brewers. Narvaez, Tellez, Peterson, and Wong. And the 2-2 pitch. Full count. He has walked 1 today. He's allowed 2 hits, both singles, and has struck out 4. Shift on the left side, and a 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul. It'll be a day game tomorrow. Miles Michaelis and Corbin Burns. That should be an outstanding pitching matchup.
The Cy Young from a year ago. You got a guy that is pitching like a Cy Young right now in Miles Michaelis.
Miles has an ERA of just 1.96. Lost the feel of that breaking ball, and it's a leadoff walk. Well, we have a moment. Quick word from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
With our free in-store assembly and pre-assembled grills and smokers, buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store. So keep those grilling plans at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
There's Brasso, who's hitting above 300 against left-handed pitching. His last 17 games at 378 average. We get the 5-run lead. This is where you want to see him shut the door in this inning, pump strikes.
It is. Get right back into it. It was kind of a curious pitch on that last one here on the walk. He's going with the breaking ball up 5. Go right after these guys.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Matthew Liberatore. There you go. Change up again. Milwaukee is hitting to 32 ground ball double plays this year, and that's the 6th most in the National League. And time called by Yachty. Next pitch, number 61 from the young Cardinal left-hander. Hit up the middle, off the glove of Nolan Gorman, and everybody's safe. That'll be an error on Gorman, his second, and the first 2 have reached.
But that was that double play ball you were looking for. Not an easy play, but one that Nolan definitely wants to be able to come up with, and that's something that you knew making this transition. It wasn't going to be as smooth. Tommy's played a really good shortstop. We've seen some really good things out of Nolan Gorman at second, but there are going to be some bumps along the way. Still learning that position, still growing at it.
So runners at first and second, and Keston Hiura. One swing, he could get them right back in this game. 4th home run that he hit last night. He's 5 for his last 15 with a pair of homers. Missed in. Liberatore did have 4 starts against Milwaukee's minor league affiliate at AAA. So I would assume that he has pitched to Keston Hiura down in the minors. He's 2-2.
Keston Hiura likes the fastball, likes to get extended. Saw that last night.
And the 1-1 fouled back. Here's a 1-2 pitch by Matthew Liberatore. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with the fastball. And that's 5 strikeouts for Matthew.
All it takes just to be a tick late. That was Hiura right there on that pitch. Maybe looking for the changeup or looking for the breaking ball. Gets the fastball middle and misses it. This is where you find out a lot. You have a leadoff walk to Taylor. You have an error. You got first and second, nobody out. How do you respond? Well, so far so good with the punch out.
Now Lorenzo Cain. He walked his first time up. Breaking ball and a strike on the outside corner. That's a good pitch. Right-handed batter, you're not going to do much with that.
You're not going to offer at it, that's for sure. It's just a great way to steal a strike. What is he going to do with that pitch? All you're going to do is roll over.
The 0-1 pitch to Lorenzo Cain. He's going with that changeup a little bit more here in this top of the fourth.
Trying to establish that. You end up facing these guys for the second time. Give them another look. Remember, that used to be a thing. Keep a pitch in your back pocket for the second and third time.
Fouled back, 2 strikes.
I think all too often now you see the kitchen sink out of every starter from the first batter. Here's everything that I've got. And a lot of times it is by design, because many of these guys are planning on being out after the 5th inning anyhow.
Liberatore in that first start with runners in scoring position, very good against the Pirates. They were just 1 for 6 against him. And the 1-2 pitch, curveball, taken low and in. So far today, the Brewers with base runners are 0 for 4 and 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. And the count is even at 2-2. The next by Matthew Liberatore. Kane pops it foul and out of play. So a long 4th inning here. Next pitch, number 20, and he's up to 70 on the day. The 2-2. Inside corner and a strikeout of Lorenzo Cain. Back-to-back Ks. After the first 2 had reached, he's up to 6. And Mark Mathias coming up with 2 runners on and 2 outs.
How about that response here after the first 2 guys get on? Punches out Hira. Then is able to spot up this fastball inside. You see this take right there too, because a couple of pitches in this at bat, you saw him start him off with a breaking ball away off the plate. Well, you better be able to hang out there a little bit to be able to hit that one, and saw the changeup away. That 92 in looks way in.
And there's a strike to Mark Mathias, fly to right. Nice response here from the leadoff walk and then an air, back-to-back strikeouts. They shade Mathias a bit towards right center. Taken high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I talk a lot, Dan, about the offense picking up a pitcher after a bad inning. How about the pitcher picking up your defense after an error? Says, hey, we're fine. I got you. Got an opportunity to do that right here. And a good buddy.
And he just put up a 4 spot too. We're gonna have that shutdown inning. Curveball taken in the dirt. 2-1 the count. And a packed house here today at Busch Stadium. Cardinals will finish up the homestand with the Padres coming into town. And then it is off to Wrigley Field and Tampa Bay. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. He's able to get in on these righties a bit.
It's a great equalizer. If you're able to do that so the hitters cannot hang out over the plate and wait for everything away, it opens up your entire arsenal.
The 2-2 pitch. And the runner's off with the next pitch. He is set. Runners from first and second, off with the pitch, and the 3-2 Matthew Liberatore. Ground ball. Arenado settles and makes the play. Leadoff walk, the air, and then back-to-back strikeouts and a ground out. 5-0 midway through 4. Insider. Get to know Juan Yepes, Yadi Albert making history. We'll fire up the grill in the Cards kitchen. Cardinals Insider tomorrow at noon on Bally Sports Midwest. Young man there in the white cap and Cardinals jersey is young Tyler Hayes, the son of Jim Hayes. There is Aaron on the left. Some of the buddies of Tyler that are here at the ballpark. And Aaron, God bless you. I don't know how you do it. First pitch is hit out to shallow center, and the catch made off the bat of Yadier Molina.
You know, for some reason, I don't think you're talking about taking Tyler and his friends to the ball game.
What do you mean?
I feel like the way that you said that, maybe you were alluding to something else.
What, Jim?
With the how to, yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Was I
yeah,
reading too much into that?
No, not at all. 100% right.
Right,
Yeah,
thank you.
no. Tyler's a good kid, and I have great conversations when I talk to Jim, and sometimes Tyler is put on the phone, and we get the chance to mingle. Could you imagine, though, putting up with the cat? Wow. Corey Dickerson grounded out to second, and he's 0 for 1. I wonder how Jim got those tickets, though. That's a tough ticket today.
Well, you got to know somebody, right? They know him.
No, he's not reaching into the back pocket for a wallet.
Wow. Sure he would.
3-0 on Dickerson.
I mean, if he really had to. I mean, chances are probably not today.
Nah, not for, if it was for him, yes.
I used some of that refine. Danny, was a little left over from the pool, so I got tickets for the family.
I like it.
Thanks for the kind words, though.
Tyler's a good kid. 3-1 the count here on Corey Dickerson. And the 1-out walk. Cardinals picked up a run in the first and 4 in the third. They lead it 5-0. Fan who appreciates stories about Cardinals baseball, make sure that you get a subscription to Cardinals Magazine. There's an exclusive Waino Yadi tribute t-shirt. Cardinals.com/magazine. 314-345-9000. Harrison Bader, a base hit to shallow right, and then came around to score. Part of the 4-run third inning. And he looks at a strike.
Well, it has been a totally different outcome against Hauser so far in this ball game. Dan, you read off some of the numbers earlier, how good he has been against the Cardinals, and just able to get to him last inning. Pitch count still low, so they're going to see what they can get out of him.
The 0-1 pitch. And last night they had to go to their bullpen. Perdomo for the Brewers was very good, but then he goes on the IL today, and they just called up Miguel Sanchez. One ball and one strike on the Cardinals center fielder, Harrison Bader. Outfield is straight away to check on Dickerson, who has about a 2-step lead. The 1-1. Broken bat softly hit towards third. And Bader retired. Dickerson to second. And back to the top of the Cardinal lineup. Tommy Edman has grounded to second. Single to left and scored in the home run hit by Goldie. Just joined us. Nolan Gorman, his first ever big league homer in the first inning. 449 feet. And Paul Goldschmidt, a 3-run homer back in the third. 2 outs, runner at second. And the first pitch to Edman. So much talk about Tommy moving to short. What would that mean for the club defensively? Does he have the range? And now we don't talk about it at all. It's no big deal.
Oh, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's made some highlight reel plays over there at shortstop and shown off the arm too.
Yeah, I guess range wouldn't have been a problem. It's the balls maybe to his right, you know, going deep in a hole and having to make that throw. But he's been fine.
He has.
Sometimes I think we all have a tendency to just overanalyze what can be sometimes the simplicities of the game of baseball too.
Yeah, well, I also think that we saw how good he is at second base, and the organization did this as well, and you kind of want to keep it there.
Hits it on the ground to short, bobbled, and Edman is safe. Urias was kind of dancing, going back and forth, and he wasn't in a rhythm to make that play, and it'll be an error on Urias, and that's his fourth.
It never had any momentum moving through the baseball, to your point. That's all it takes, a small bobble with Tommy Edman. Hits off the heel of the glove. And all of a sudden, the guy you don't want to be facing right now stepping into the box.
Dickerson also may have distracted the Brewers shortstop. Here's Gorman, who is 2 for 2 with a pair of runs batted in. And the first pitch, take it for a strike with a changeup.
Yeah, we're going to see if Hauser ends up approaching him differently. The home run was on a fastball, as was the RBI single.
Here's an 0-1 pitch to Nolan Gorman. Now 0-2. So Nolan Gorman combining what he's done in the minors now with 16 home runs. Amazingly, 12 of those have been solo shots. 12 of the 16. It's interesting if you're Ollie in this kind of spot. See if they throw over here. They do not. And it's ripped out to right field. One run is in. Edman was off with a pitch. Being waved in. He will score. Nolan Gorman, have a day.
The hands of Nolan Gorman are lightning quick. This was a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. It was up, it was in, it was exactly where Hauser wanted it, and just ropes it down the right field line. That's the pitch he wanted too. The pitch beforehand, you saw Caratini, he wanted the curveball. Hauser wasn't feeling it, said I can get in there with the fastball. Well, Nolan Gorman made you pay for it, drives in a couple more.
So Nolan Gorman is driven in 4, Goldie 3, and a breaking ball and a strike. I like the idea of running with 2 strikes there, because if you're Ollie, you're also thinking, well, he could swing and give us 3 runs.
Yeah.
You know, with a home run, the way he's swinging the bat. They start the runner and it paid off. That's pulled foul, 0-2. Goldschmidt, the 3-run homer back in the 3rd inning. His 10th. And he's driven in 39. Nolan Gorman, by the way, a triple away from the cycle. And the 0-2 pitch. Base hit. Gorman being waved in. Throw by Yelich. Not in time. It's an 8-0 lead. Gorman is driven in 4. Goldie 4. And he's up to 40 on the year.
Well, the hottest player in May strikes again in this one. Slider, down and in, drives it into left. We talked about yesterday the arm of Yelich in left. It is not a great one. You're going to run on it every time you get a chance, and no chance right here to get Gorman at the plate.
You can see that Caratini, I thought he was blocking the plate. And you have to wonder, did he have enough of a lane to score? And he went right through that left leg. And now there's activity in the bullpen is Hobie Milner, a lefty. And Hauser, in back-to-back plate appearances with Gorman and Goldschmidt, he had 2 strikes on him and couldn't put him away.
Yes, he did. That's a season-high 8 runs, season-high 9 hits against Hauser. Doogie's been good. Not today. Ball's hard. He lined one to third. Also had another one to center field. 100 miles an hour off the bat. He's close again.
So 9 hits for the Cardinals. 8 runs scored. Arenado down the left field line and pulled it foul. So that is baseball. I mean, you can have a September start where Hauser throws an even 100 pitches and goes a complete game. And basically exclusive with the sinker. And then today it's just a different story. Cardinals are all over him.
Yeah, we've seen him up in the zone. More misses in the middle of the plate, and to credit the Cardinals, they haven't missed those pitches.
Arenado chops one towards second, and Matthias makes the play. So with 2 outs, you get the double from Gorman. That scores a pair. Goldie as well, and it's 8-0.
And a big day for Nolan Gorman. Dakota Hudson wasn't happy about lasting 4 2/3 innings last night and coming out of the game with 2 outs and the bases loaded in the top of the 5th. He was happy that the Cards won and about his pace being much quicker. He said pitch calm helped him with that, and adjusting to it was really no big deal. About improving his tempo, Dak said, I felt like I was trying to be deliberate, coming back from not throwing very much and trying to figure things out. Maybe I was overthinking things instead of just taking the ball and going. And Danny Hudson feels like he can build off last night, and I think the Cards would love that.
There's no doubt, and you could tell visibly he was frustrated. 2 balls, no strikes on Victor Caratini about being taken out of the game. But as we said, you got to throw strikes. He had 4 walks at that point, and it was the game on the line there.
Yeah, but as we were talking about too, you want him frustrated. You want him to be angry that he gets taken out of a ball game like that. He's a competitor. He believes that he's going to be able to get out of that, and very well could have gotten a ground ball on the next guy just on McCutchen, just like Verhagen did. But I like to hear that as something he can build off of, and it makes sense with him being deliberate. He hasn't pitched a lot, and you do think through a lot after you miss a season with Tommy John. Came back last year with a couple of rehab, or not even rehab, a couple of appearances at the big league level, and he looked good, but just trying to get your feet under you again. It's a big key to what you're doing.
And a leadoff walk. So that's the 3rd walk issued by Matthew Liberatore. 82 pitches today. Do you think part of that, Brad, is in Hudson prior to Tommy John struggle with the walks? But I'm not trying to make excuses, but do you think part of it is coming back from the Tommy John, getting a feel for it? You're pitching every 5th day and the rhythm of a long season.
I think it's a little bit of everything. I think that there is some of that in him anyhow because of how much the ball moves for him and him finding that consistent release point. And maybe that's part of the deliberate approach that he had to it, was slowing himself down. You just got to find the happy medium.
So Yachty is going to slow down Liberatore with 83 pitches. Ideally, and maybe the Cardinals saw something here with Liberatore. Adam Olson coming out to check on Matthew.
Checking out the finger. I don't know if he's got a little blister or got a nail issue. Matthew's saying he's good to go.
Oh, yeah. 8-run lead in the 5th. Yeah.
I got this, guys.
I get 3.
Don't worry about it.
But I was saying that prior to that visit, but ideally he's at 83 pitches. Now, this may complicate it if he does have blister formation or some kind of issue with the finger. But, man, if he could have 2 quick, efficient innings and give you 6, that's big. That saves your bullpen a little bit more.
It would be big. I don't know if it's going to be in the cards today, but who knows? Let's see how fast this can go. We can go 1 pitch right here, get another ground ball like we saw last night from McCutchen.
And McCutchen, first pitch swinging, popped up. It'll be Donovan with the catch. And I bring it up because after tomorrow, you're not sure what direction you may go. So do you go to Jake Woodford to make a start? Do you dip into your minor leagues and maybe have a bullpen game? Those are some of the things that are on the table right now for Ollie.
Oh, certainly. And look, I guess you can't ever know exactly what is going to happen, but I would believe that Ollie, Skip, Mike Maddox, the entire staff feels pretty good about innings tomorrow with Miles Michaelis on the mound. He's shown you nothing but great pitching so far this year. So you do kind of piece together this one and then think forward to Monday. The belief it would be Jake Woodford if in fact he doesn't get in this one.
Luis Urias 1 for 2 with a base hit to left. And that's the thing, if Liberatore came out and lasted an inning today and you went to Jake Woodford, well then there's your answer. But
yes,
you know, now that he's giving you some length in this game, at least initially, they may stay away from him, which then would allow you to make a start potentially with Jake on Monday.
it sure helps keep your options open, doesn't it?
It sure does. Cardinals did that earlier this year with Packy Naughton. They had to make a spot start, so he would be an option as well. I was asking Ollie before the game about Johan Oviedo, and he said he's been better. The reports have been much better. And the 1-1. Line to third. Back to first, and it gets away from Donovan.
The heck of a play. I like the effort over there. I also like the Cobra Kai sweep the leg by Donovan right there. Totally unintentional.
Thinking about Alan Craig and Will Middlebrooks in the World Series of 2013. Remember that when he got to score on that play. So watch Donovan here. They will award.
I'm really not sure.
Caratini will take second base.
I don't know what more Donovan's going to be able to do there.
Sometimes you do have plays. It's not interference or obstruction. It's just two guys that get tangled up.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Happens. So it'll be, I believe, on the play you would give Arenado the air, and then you would have obstruction with the play on Donovan. You can get interference if you're the base runner. You get obstruction when you're the defender.
When Ollie's just laying out his case, saying, what do you expect him to do? The throw ends up taking Donovan across the bag. He lays out for it. The two are tangled up. And it is something, even if, this doesn't end up getting overturned and goes back, which it won't. You want to lay it out for the next time.
By the way, Nolan threw that about 200 miles per hour.
I saw the StatCast numbers. Not quite. It was 197.
Okay.
You have a good eye for that.
When I work with Jimmy and we talk numbers, he never corrects me.
It's my fault. That's on me again. I'm going to write that down. Little notes to get better. Never correct Dan.
That's right. What will happen?
You will bury me.
That's correct. That was in the Bally's
handbook.
Yeah, just an announcer guide. I know you've read that cover to cover.
Well, Ollie getting his say in on this one.
You know, Ollie is pretty controlled in there.
He is.
I mean, he knows the game obviously backwards and forwards. You don't see him get overly emotional one way or another.
He's pretty fiery though. Like when you get him going.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that today with us, and he said, I am so competitive that there are times I've got to check myself, or maybe Skip has to. It's kind of like what Tony would say and Mike Schilt would say with umpires. You're not going to win. You know, so have your say, make your point. Sometimes you belabor it for effect, maybe for your team, but generally it's not worth it, because stuff does carry over. Human beings have a long memory.
You pick your spots.
Exactly. Yelich is 1 for 2. And the 0-1 pitch. Struck out swinging on a 3-2 pitch back in the third. Matthew has struck out 6, and he's 1 out away from qualifying for a potential win, which he was last weekend. And a ground ball. Gorman bobbles, and Yelich is aboard. That'll be the second error on Nolan Gorman, and the third error committed by the Cardinals here today.
Made his pitch, got his ground ball. You see it just roll right up the glove of Nolan Gorman, loses the handles on it.
You know, to me, those were the plays, and we were talking about this a couple of weeks ago when we were hearing that Gorman might be called up, but with the shift coming in, those were the plays I think that the Cardinals were concerned about, that Tommy Edman puts those in his back pocket. He's so good at that.
Made look so easy. By the way, that error there might be the difference of Liberatore coming back out next inning or not.
Yeah.
Pitch count now rising, 91 pitches.
Something you always have to look at is the pitch count after the error and how it could cost you an inning or two with a starter,
especially a young one. You're not going to push him too far.
Taylor is flied to center and also walked back in inning number 4, and the 0-1 pitch in the air, deep left. Dickerson, just enough room. Matthew Liberatore is through 5, and it's an 8-0 St. Louis lead. Game summary: Matthew Liberatore is through 5. Nolan Gorman triple away from the cycle. Paul Goldschmidt 2 for 3 today. He's now reached base safely in 33 consecutive games and a 19-game hitting streak. As a matter of fact, Gorman and Goldie have driven in all the runs today, 4 apiece. There's Hobie Milner, the Chevy called to the pen. Adrian Hauser, his day is through with 4 innings, 8 runs on 9 hits, struck out 1, walked 1, and gave up a pair of home runs. It's Donovan, Nootbaar, and Molina for St. Louis. Donovan, a ground ball that's hit to second baseman Mark Mathias. And the first out. Friday, June 10th, Cardinals and Reds. And 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a Nolan Arenado jersey. Thanks to Scott Credit Union. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Nootbaar 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout.
A tough matchup for Newt with Milner with the arm angle that he has, but you'd love to see Lars Nootbaar get going a little bit, get a little momentum. There's a lot of opportunity in the outfield right now.
I like this against the shift and a base hit for Nootbaar. Smart play.
If somebody's giving you a gift, you got to take it, don't you? That was the entire left side. Nothing there. All you have to do is make sure you get it past the pitcher. And Newt's able to do that. That is something that not enough guys have in their toolbox, is the ability to just drop down a bunt to that wide open left side. Don't have to be too fine. Sometimes you see a guy do that and he tries to be perfect and put it down the line. Why? Just get it past the pitcher.
Well, you're up by 8. You've got Nootbaar at first, and here is Yachty. Single inside the third base line. Hit a soft liner to second. That is the first bunt hit of the season for the Cardinals. Jake Woodford is throwing in the St. Louis bullpen, so it looks like Liberatore is done for the day.
I was very impressed with what I saw from Matthew Liberatore today. Good command. That breaking ball is as advertised, just looked way more comfortable than he did on his debut, and understandably so.
Interesting to go with Woodford here today, up by 8. And so you may see a long extended outing from Jake. You cover your innings. You feel then you'd like to think Michaelis gives you some length tomorrow. And it sets you up to be better prepared then for the game on Monday.
Yeah, you piece it together on Monday. I'm sure that we'll see some different moves happening. And the Cardinals are in that spot right now where you're seeing a little bit of that Memphis shuttle, moving pieces in and out to end up being healthy. Who can start the game on Monday? How many innings do they give you? But try to lock this one down.
2-2. Pitchers, when they go on the IL now, it's 15 days. So that was reinstated to go to 15 from 10 to make sure there wasn't roster manipulation like teams were doing before. Molina is 1 for 1 head-to-head against Milner with a homer. And he sends it into right, slicing towards the line, and the catch made by Taylor. Yachty 1 for 3 today, and the batter will be Corey Dickerson, who is grounded out to second, walked and scored. And a grounder to Keston Hira, and Dickerson retired. Milner scoreless inning, and we have played 5. Cardinals on top. Has a chance to pick up his first ever major league win with 5 scoreless innings today. The BJC Healthcare difference maker.
He looked really good, punched out 6, was spotting his fastball to both sides. That breaking ball, man, was that thing pretty. Even showing off the changeup a little bit in this ball game as well. Only the 2 hits, and really, Dan, not much hit hard against Matthew Liberatore in this one. So fine outing for the 22-year-old lefty.
We've not seen Jake Woodford pitch in the big league since May 13th.
That rotation very cliquish, Dan.
Very much so. A lot of guys talking about fingernails and blisters.
Painful stuff. Really is. No, I love seeing that. That's a close-knit group.
We saw Woodford on that game May 13th win an inning against the Giants. Taken inside, and it's a count of 1 ball 1 strike. Brasso, Keston Hira, and Lorenzo Cain. Eight 0 St. Louis. And it's 1-2. It's been kind of an odd road for Jake Woodford to get time on the mound here in the big leagues. Broke with the big league club and then Didn't see him for a long time. It's been a hit and miss whether or not he gets a chance to get in there, and he strikes out the first batter that he sees.
That is a difficult role when you're been that swing guy. You know you can eat up lots of innings. And it felt like for a little bit this year he was that in case of emergency break last guy, and then the emergency wasn't coming for him to get in the ball game. But for Jake Woodford, anytime he gets an opportunity, well, it's just a chance to make an impression to get more and more of them. So you got a ball game right now. You've got a big lead. For him, keep it. Give some innings and just be aggressive like that. Fill up the zone.
And it's outings like these that if he pitches well, you say, well, here are the Cardinals. We haven't made a move yet. We know Hicks is on the injured list. It's a while for Jack Flaherty. Is Jake Woodford a guy we can count on? That is destroyed. Up into Big Mac land. Keston here, his second home run in this series. Wow. That just scared me. I mean, that is a bomb.
When he gets them, he gets them. This one right here, we were talking about Gorman's home run earlier. You knew right away that's just a spinner. It's middle in, way deep into Big Mac land.
So Milwaukee on the board with that home run. And a pitch taken inside by Lorenzo Cain. He is struck out looking and walked. Now they measured that at 412 feet. 412.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Liar.
Might want to add a few feet on that one. That's got to be every bit of 450, 440 at least. Man, oh man. Pitch taken low, and it's 2-1.
And you know what? For Jake Woodford, that's just one swing. Who cares? Still got a 7-run cushion. I want to keep pumping strikes. Don't start nibbling.
The 2-1 pitch, fouled back, and it's 2-2. So you had Nolan Gorman at 449 feet over the bullpen in right field. And that's 412. I don't know. Out number 2. While we have a moment, quick word from Rally House.
Play ball, St. Louis. Shop the latest in Cardinals style with your favorite brands and throwback designs. Rally House has gear for every fan.
2 outs and Mark Mathias. He's flied to right and also grounded out to third. Cardinals have Bader, Edman, and Gorman coming up. We're only in the 6th inning. Nolan Gorman 3 for 3, and the triple away from the cycle. And a fly ball into right. Nootbaar backs up a step or 2 and makes the catch. Nolan Gorman coming up. 2 up third. It's 8-1. The short straw. He has had some of the toughest matchups in baseball. Their Budweiser What's on Tap. It's Michaelis going tomorrow, and he'll go against Corbin Burns. It's been Sandy Alcantara. It's been Max Scherzer and some of the others that are the best in the National League, and he has gone toe-to-toe with those guys and pitched just as well.
He has looked just like him. The Scherzer game, wasn't that a fun one? I mean, there was a lot of focus around Scherzer. He's coming back to St. Louis. You know what he has done against the Cardinals. You know what he is. It was pitch for pitch Miles Michaelis was out there with him. So looking forward to that one tomorrow. Trevor Kelly, the Chevy called the bullpen for the Brewers. We saw Kelly for an inning on Thursday, a scoreless inning. They've got some different looks in that bullpen, don't they?
They sure do. And Kelly faced Molina, Bader, Nolan Gorman. He struck him out. Gorman was a pinch hitter that night, Brendan Donovan. So he gets Bader here. Bader popped out to first in that game. So Gorman due up third. The Cardinals have the 6th longest cycle drought. It's 17 years and 1 month since Mark Grudzielanek hit for the cycle in the final year of Busch Stadium 2. It was a day game against these Milwaukee Brewers.
What are you more surprised about, Dan, that it's been that long since a Cardinals hit a cycle, or
no hitter?
No hitter with Bud Smith.
I'd say no hitter.
Me
How
too.
about you?
Yeah, for sure the no hitter, because of all the different arms that have been here.
Yeah, I think so. I think the no hitter, and then you had Jimenez do it. You had Bud Smith do it, and a strikeout of Bader. And the way that some games have unfolded, I thought Michael Walker was going to get one. Shelby Miller was close. He had the one where he had
first batter got on.
It was Eric Young Jr. of Colorado. He got first batter got on, and then it was 27 up, 27 down.
The Waka one was a heartbreaker. That was the Zimmerman little chopper. It was a Michael Waka.
He's pitching well this year too.
He is. Good for him. I've always liked him.
2 hops off the bat of Tommy Edman, and it brings in Nolan Gorman. So Nolan Gorman is 22. The last time a Cardinal 22 or younger had a 3-hit, 4 RBI game, that's been a while too. Yadier Molina in May of 2005 is the last time something like this happened. And Gorman got the home run in the first, and then the base hit, single in the third, and the double drove in 2. He's brought in 4 on the day.
The home run was majestic. That RBI, 2 RBI double, to me might have been the most impressive swing of all. That fastball was up, it was in, just the quick hands to be able to get to that.
Here's a 1-0. And Gorman, base hit into right. And it's a 4-hit day. He is 4 for 4. 2 singles, a double, and a home run for Nolan Gorman.
First 3 hits all on heaters. Hauser kept attacking him with the fastball. This time Kelly tries to drop down, get that slider in, just spins, stays middle, and drops the head on it. 107 miles an hour off the bat. Everything that he's hitting has been hard.
Well, you'd have to think it's been a while then for the last guy to have 4 hits and bring in 4 at this age for a Cardinal. And here is Paul Goldschmidt. He's 2 for 3. 3-run homer in the third, and an RBI single with 2 outs to left field in the fourth. He now has driven in 40 on the year. Goldie's 3rd game already this season with 4 driven in. 29th time in his career. Just a rocket under the glove of Keston Hiura. And Gorman to third. Didn't even get a lace on that. It's a 3-hit day for Paul Goldschmidt.
Driving it all over the place. This thing's middle and takes it away. Almost hit hard too, right past Hiura. You're right, doesn't touch that thing at all.
And the guy that needs to get it going a little bit steps in. And that is Nolan Arenado. He is hitless. He is lined out a couple of times and grounded out to second. Hard hit, but nothing to show for it. And that pitch taken in.
We talked about it earlier, Dan, just how crazy baseball is. April on fire, hitting for average, driving the ball all over the place, coming into action today. I believe he was sitting right at 200 for the month of May. This game's hard. There's going to be ups and downs, but I like the signs that we're seeing recently.
And you know that Nolan and Goldie, they're going to get the best of the opposition. It's not to say that others aren't getting the best, but you cannot relax with those two at the plate. You just can't.
No, you're right. They get pitched differently.
2-1 the count. Cardinals with a 12-hit attack and 8 runs. The 2-1. Arenado pulls it foul. Tell you what, if I'm Pop Warner, I'm still thinking I might be too close to Nolan when he's at the plate.
Yeah, I know they make the coaches wear a helmet. I might want a chest protector too. A little more gear right there. I mean, Pop moves well.
Get the Kevlar, you know.
Yeah, a little something to protect that side.
Yeah. Gorman is the first Cardinal in the history of the organization to have a 4-hit, 4 RBI game in one of his first 10 games in the big leagues. The long history of this franchise, he's the first to do it.
Some pretty good players come through this organization.
The 3-2 popped up on the infield. And the catch made. Cardinals strand a pair. We move to the 7th. And it's 8-1.
8-1. Dylan Carlson on the IL with a left hamstring strain. John Mozeliak says they're going to be very careful with him. Mozeliak told me with a hamstring, you have to treat it a little differently. For this week, it's been mostly physical therapy. Hopefully, in 7 or 8 days, he's at a point where we can start pushing it a little bit more, Danny. With that hamstring, the Cardinals are going to be extra cautious. You know that.
Great stuff, Jim.
As Brad jumps right on in. I tell you what, you're either at the beginning of those reports or at the end, but you want to make sure that you are listening to Jim.
I can't get enough of it. It's a good follow-up, too. Asked him a little bit about Dylan yesterday. He goes in there diligently today.
Caratini, the base hit into right center. And he'll stop at first base. Well, I just like what I saw there from Bader, holding him to that single. Fans applaud the effort as well. Star Wars Night, presented by Topps Trading Card, is coming up. And that'll be June 15th. Theme ticket. An exclusive Star Wars themed baseball t-shirt. Star Wars Night, Cardinals.com/theme. Spoke to Dylan today in the Cardinal clubhouse to follow up on Jim's report. The base hit by Caratini, and here is McCutchen. And the first pitch to the leadoff man is taken for a strike. I said, do you anticipate going on a rehab assignment? He said, probably. He said, you know, I feel pretty good when I run. And the testing has gone well. But when you get into game action and you have to cut or you do something that's game related, that's when you can run into problems. So he said, I want to make sure that it's about as fully healed as we can get to make sure I don't blow it out playing in a game and you're going 100%, which he always does. And all of a sudden you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's smart. It's smart. I mean, that's why those rehab assignments are out there and they're available for you. I know it might slow your return by a couple of days. You'd rather know he's right and ready to return.
I would think, too, from a hitter's perspective, some timing as a guy that wants to see some live pitching, too.
Yeah.
That would be another aspect of this.
Well, it's a guy, too, that it's always disappointing when anybody gets hurt, but he was just turning it on, too.
Yeah.
May was becoming a good month. Slow April for Dylan Carlson, but he made some adjustments, started driving the ball all over the place.
The 1-2 pitch to McCutchen. Inside 2-2. 0 for 3 today. He has struck out, fly to center, and popped out to first. Chance for the Cardinals to give Matthew Liberatore his first ever big league win here today. The same day that his buddy and best friend has made Cardinal history. Nolan Gorman, the first Cardinal in the history of this organization to have a 4-hit, 4 RBI game in one of his first 10 games in the big leagues.
Pretty special. Cool. Yeah, it is. It is. And again, a couple of guys that could be wearing that uniform for quite some time. It's fun to watch.
And a grounder tap foul. So Nolan Gorman, so the first to do that. And then you think about age 22 or younger rookies, 4 hits, 4 runs batted in, and a home run. 3 have done that. Joe Medwick, Bill Delancey, and Nolan Gorman today.
He's getting another at bat, most likely, in this game. It's happening.
And the 2-2 pitch. Now, if you had a tight game, he's probably coming out for defensive purposes. But right now, it's 8-1. And so you get him as much experience defensively, I'm assuming, that you can.
Yeah, oh no, for sure. You get those reps, and you know after that last error that he made coming in on the ball, they talk to him, slow him down. Tell him, hey, you're going to be just fine here. Take the pressure off yourself.
And the 2-2. However, that bat, that'll play.
You're going to find a spot for that. I think about the risk versus reward. Okay, well, you move the Gold Glover off second base. He has made a couple errors today. Brewers didn't score any runs off of that, and he's driven in 4.
So it's worked. Yep. And a double play ball. Gorman, the turn, nicely done. They had a shift on, so that's one of those odd turns that you have to make at second base. Saw this last night too, Brett.
Yeah, it is a different angle coming from straight behind the bag. Tommy does a good job of feeding him well, and not surprisingly, the former third baseman has a good arm, turns this easily.
The only Cardinal in the history of this organization, by the way, 22 or younger, with a perfect 5 for 5. Just hits. Don't worry about the home runs, the RBI. Rogers Hornsby did it. Cliff Heathcote and Joe Medwick. The breaking ball lifted in the air out to deep left field. That'll stay in the ballpark, and let's stretch. Time to stretch, and it's all Cards. Authority of the Cardinals not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The content descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Miguel Sanchez is the new pitcher, just called up prior to today's game. At 15 appearances with AAA Nashville, 17 innings. He was 4-2, ERA just above 2. Luis Perdomo went on the injured list, so Sanchez called up.
I thought Luis Perdomo looked really good yesterday.
Agreed. And a 1-0 pitch to Brendan Donovan. Strike. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. The 1-1. On the ground to short. Stabbed at by Urias. And throw up the line. And Keston here apparently stayed on the bag. While we have a moment, quick word from BJC.
Getting back to normal feels like so much more than just normal. BJC is committed to improving the health of our patients and community.
Lars Nootbaar bunt against the shift, and he's 1 for 3 today. Molina on deck. First pitch, a strike. And the 0-1. 0-2. Reattach the elbow guard as it came flying off on the 0-1 pitch. Oh boy.
Sometimes you just got to let it rip like that. I was never able to wear those because of these biceps.
Nude bars rung up. 100% MLB verified tickets, easier than ever on StubHub. Official partner of the Cardinals. Widest selection of seats and prices. You can look up your seat view before you purchase so you know the view of the field. Tickets available on StubHub up until the first pitch. I think it was you that said, boy, Jimmy is just so vascular.
He is, yeah. He couldn't wear those things either.
No, he couldn't.
Birds of a feather, Jimmy and I.
Similar types of frames.
Yeah.
Hit slowly. And Yadi retired. We head to the 8th, and it's 8-1. All is brought to you by BMW. Experience the ultimate driving machine at a BMW center near you. By BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Brendan Donovan shifting from first base to third. Juan Yepes takes over at first. And Arenado out of the game. 8-1 St. Louis. It's Yelich, Taylor, Brasso. Jake Woodford in his third inning of relief of Matthew Liberatore and a strike. Liberatore went 5 innings, 2 hits, struck out 6, walked 3, no runs. Woodford allowed a home run in the 6th inning. The second batter he saw, that was Keston Hiura. And it's 0-2.
What I liked about that is he did give up the home run and then went right back to pumping strikes.
Breaking ball hit out of play. Yelich single to left. He is struck out and reached on an error. Story today, though, has been Nolan Gorman. 4-for-4 performance. Is driven in 4. Goldie, another big day with 3 hits. He's driven in 4, which included a 3-run homer. Another 0-2 pitch. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow already when you have Michaelis and Corbin Burns. That's going to be a fun matchup.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's going to be one of those games where you feel like the one little detail, the one play that is made or is not made, the extra base that you take or you do not, ends up being the difference in a game like that with 2 pitchers like that.
These are quite the shades for Miles. You tried to pitch with those, didn't you?
Yeah, they said it was too much awesome on my face, though. Made me take those off.
Yeah, I could get it. I understand that you were a trendsetter in many, many ways.
It really was. Umpires trying to stop everybody's fun, though.
Oh, yeah. The 2-2 and a grounder hit to shortstop Tommy Edman. And the first out. We'll gather your team for Big League Impact Trivia Night Friday. And the event in downtown St. Louis features virtual appearances by Waino and other Cardinals. And all the proceeds benefit Big League Impact and its efforts to help poverty. And you can purchase individual and team tickets. Visit bigleagueimpact.org. We did that last year. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did. I'll be at it. Gonna have some fun this year.
Grounder sharply hit Donovan stays with it. And Taylor is the second out. I think the Cardinals last year were in Chicago when we did that, and we were not traveling obviously last season, so we did it virtually. And I think it was Tommy Edman, Austin Dean, Goldie, Waino, a couple others I'm probably missing.
Well, it's just so fun to see everybody jumping in on these. Albert Pujols had his golf tournament for the Pujols Family Foundation the other night. His teammates were there supporting. You know they do the exact same thing for Adam. Big League Impact does so much good.
They really do.
And the trivia nights are fun.
Yeah. I think you were with your radio partner, Anthony Stalter. You guys had a team.
We did, but boy, we didn't do great. We tried hard.
It's they're fun, but it also shows your IQ. And the 1-0. And you said you did not do well.
Well, it was a group effort, and there was a lot going on. And
however, you being a prominent figure in the media and really a substantial member of our community, you took the lead for your team. You were the decision maker. I mean, some people say, no, don't go with that, go with this. And it was up to you, and a lot of wrong answers.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of wishy-washy. It could be this, could be that. We got to pick something. There's a time frame, you know, you got to get it in. I picked the wrong thing oftentimes. Either way, I had a good time, and they raised a lot of great money and helped people. Didn't matter what our team's IQ was, Dan. Notice you didn't even jump on a roster.
Well, I was emceeing the event. I wasn't allowed to. I knew the answers.
Wish you would have shared some.
Actually, I think I did a couple of times. I texted you.
It didn't help.
Didn't help?
No, it just felt dirty.
Yeah, you're trying to raise money for a good cause, and there you are cheating one of your good friends' events.
Actually, I think you're the one that said you sent me stuff.
Well, I think that kind of sums you up.
That I wouldn't use it. That's right.
No, the other one. You would use those in a way to benefit yourself and your team.
We'll do better this year.
Missed in, and it's 2-2. I think Waino later this summer also doing an event at Topgolf.
Sure is.
And then he's got the fantasy draft, which would be around the corner. I wonder if Tommy Pham will be a part of that.
You know what? Maybe. Very intense about his fantasy football.
Very much so. We can get Jock Peterson and Tommy.
You know, Big League Impact does have reach all over.
Players from other teams participating.
That's right. You're about really always about an arm's length away.
There's Donovan quickly to first, and the pick by Yepez. And a 1-2-3 for Woodford. 8-1. And they had driven in 8 of the runs, 4-apiece for Gorman and Goldie.
We're talking about it early. What does that look like with Nolan Gorman batting second with Goldschmidt, the hottest hitter on earth, behind him? Would he get some opportunities? And Hauser, he challenged him early with a bunch of fastballs, made him pay for it.
The strike to Dickerson, walked and scored, is grounded out to second and first. 0 for 2 today. It's a quick 1-2-3 in the 7th inning for Miguel Sanchez. Dickerson hits it to short. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
Want to deposit your birthday check right from your phone? Don't waste your wish. You can send money, check your balance, and yes, take care of those checks in a snap, all with the Great Southern mobile app.
1 out, Tots. Base hit to shallow right, grounded out to third and struck out. He pulls that foul. Big crowd, over 45,000, we understand, here today.
I feel like it's going to keep growing this weekend too, isn't it? So beautiful out. Everybody's getting an opportunity to go to the ballpark. A lot of the schools are now out of session. And if you're not out yet, you probably will be next week. And let's be honest, kids, you're not getting anything done next week. Might as well come to the ballpark anyhow.
Yeah, those last like 7 to 10 days, especially for the little guys. Now, you start getting into like 7th, 8th, high school, you got some exams. I get it. But teachers are just trying to fill out the days, and all of a sudden you're flipping on a TV. Maybe you pop on Hoosiers, good kids program. Make sure that they see that since everybody else has seen it. And the 1-1 up and in.
3 in a row?
It's 3 days in a row.
3 games in a row. We're going to bring up the fact that I have yet to see Hoosiers.
I had a security guard here at the ballpark come to me and say that he would like to have one of the rooms here at the ballpark specifically for a viewing of Hoosiers. Just for you. 2-2.
You let me know if that gets done, and I appreciate everyone's concern.
You said, hey, you said you're having a movie night with the kids tonight.
We are having a movie
This
night.
is the perfect time to do it. Knock it out.
They're picking the movie. So if they pick Hoosiers, for sure, I'll put it out there.
All right. That's fouled back by Bader.
Also had one of the fine ushers that work here at the stadium sent down a copy of Hoosiers.
I saw that
last night. Blair from upstairs. Appreciate that. I will get your DVD back to you. I'll be kind. Don't have to rewind, but I would. I'll get it back to you.
It's not a VHS. And a strikeout of Bader. And I also saw Terry downstairs, who's been a guard here for many, many years, and she wanted to talk to you as well.
Terry's mad at me?
Well, she heard us talking about Kingpin.
I do like that. I've seen that one.
And then the umpires were talking about it too. So apparently the word got around.
Well, I'll fix it.
There's an 0-1 to Tommy Edman. Let's see if he can extend this to one more time for Nolan Gorman, who's 4 for 4 and he's on deck. And he popped up Tommy Edman and leaves Nolan Gorman on deck. And a 1-2-3. Sanchez 6 up, 6 down as we head to the ninth. And the family members, Matthew Liberatore and Nolan Gorman, will have a fun Saturday night. Thinking about this, and probably a day they'll never forget, as Matthew Liberatore has a chance to pick up his first ever big league win. And Nolan Gorman 4 for 4 in his first big league homer. Not too bad.
It was just so fun to watch both of those guys do their thing so far in this ball game. Trying to put a bow on this 8-1 lead, but boy, you nailed it. A memorable one. As TJ McFarland, the Chevy call to the bullpen, coming in for his 16th game of the season, looking to finish this thing off.
So he pitched Sunday in Pittsburgh. That was the 18-4 win. He went 3 innings in that game. And it was kind of a two-prong effect with that. Number one, they needed some innings in a blowout game, but also try to get him right. And when he's right, we know he's getting a lot of ground balls.
Yeah, just seeing a lot more balls being elevated against him.
0-2 on Keston Hira. Hit a long home run into Big Mac land. Back in the 6th as Jake Woodford gives the Cardinals 3 innings in relief of Liberatore, who went 5 and struck out in this ball game 6. And the 0-2. And that'll be a strikeout. Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks.
The sinker trying to go in there against Hira, but ends up locking him up anyhow, middle up.
And a ground ball that's hit to second baseman Nolan Gorman. Makes that play easily. And there's 2 away. What has been a fun day here at the ballpark. 45,594. 45594. And Matthias, the final hope for the Brewers, with 2 outs and nobody on here in this top of the 9th. Fun day here at the ballpark.
There was energy in this park early on.
Really was.
It really set me. For me, it started as soon as Matthew Liberatore ran out to the mound by himself. First time getting to toe the rubber at Busch Stadium, and it was a memorable one for him. You know that Ollie's got to be happy with what he's seen out of his ball club today.
The count of 2-1. The Cardinals pick up this win and try to make it 3 of 4 tomorrow with Michaelis going for St. Louis. The 2-1 lined and a base hit. Matthias 1 for 4 extends the ball game to Victor Caratini, who has walked today and singled 1 for 2. This big crowd, many of them on their feet. Two outs and a runner at first, and there's strike 1. Cardinals about hit the Brewers today 12-5 in that category and lead the ball game 8-1. Yepez playing behind the runner at first, Matthias. And the 0-1. Gets away, and Matthias to second base. And a count of 2 balls and 1 strike. You think they're getting like the milk and the yogurt and cereal and ice cream and the things that you dump on a guy when he gets his first win in the clubhouse?
Don't forget the mayonnaise.
Yeah, that too.
Get a little bit of that in there. I mean, basically the worst concoction ever.
The mustard, the ketchup.
Yeah, that mustard. That's difficult to get out.
It's got to sting the eye a little bit.
Probably. It just stings so good though when it's your first big league win.
Yeah. You don't mind it. And they're on their feet here in St. Louis. Brewers down to their final strike. 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner at second base. And a foul ball. Just a little tardy on that swing.
He's getting him timed up now. How about another ground ball right here?
And the 2-2. Full count. McCutchen on deck. The 3-2 pitch. Ball man will retrieve that and hustle back to his spot down in the left field corner. Three-two again. And a high fly ball lifted out to deep left field, and Caratini extends the game with a home run. It makes it 8-3. On base for the third time today. Couple of hits, a walk, and a 2-run homer.
Caratini in that at bat fouled off 3 fastballs. This time it was the changeup from TJ McFarland and just snap hooked it out of the ballpark. Just went down and got it.
Eight to 3, 2 outs here in the ninth. Here's McCutchen. And a strike.
Dan, we went through the first month of the season, and obviously it's heated up a little bit, but you didn't see a swing like that and a ball travel like that at all in April.
Yeah, ball is starting to travel. And baseball thought that might be the case with summer around the corner, and that has been the case. And again, the Brewers down to their final strike, 0-2 on Andrew McCutchen. The next by McFarland. He struck him out on a day in which Nolan Gorman goes 4 for 4. His childhood buddy picks up his first ever major league win. That's Matthew Liberatore, and the Cardinals win it 8-3.
What a fun day it was here at Busch Stadium. Congratulations again to the rookies, Liberatore, Gorman. How about Goldie riding that 19-game hit streak, 33 games in a row on base. And the Cardinals will head in tomorrow looking to take 3 of 4 from the Brewers. Looking forward to this one.
It's off to the post-game show. The Cardinals win it by the final of 8-3, and they'll try to take 3 of 4 tomorrow afternoon.